I'm Ben Alvarez. I'm proud to say I was the first director of Pearce Community Center. Initially, I think it was in 1989 and 90, the Jerry Fennell and Jim Thornton went to Barb Truitt, a local businesswoman who was very successful, and she loved Chillicothe and had a history of doing great things for Chillicothe. She was the founder of the Chillicothe Foundation, the Chillicothe Development Company, and they brought businesses to town, did improvements to the city. And she was kind of invisible through all that, but they went to her and they explained what our vision was, what the board had put together for a plan for the Pearce Community Center, and she bought into the project.
But she was very instrumental in providing those initial funds. But without the community involvement, she understood that it wouldn't be a success unless the community got behind it and offered their time and efforts and support. And that came to pass that happened. We originally met in the banquet hall on Saturday mornings to organize how the structure would be set up from an operational standpoint. Those meetings were on every Saturday morning, and some of the times we even had to wear coats because there was no heat in the building at that point. The utilities had all been off for quite a while.
It was not a comfortable thing, but everybody was glad to be doing it, and we met every week, and that was when a lot of the planning and structuring was done. We were looking at other facilities and trying to decide what we wanted to be for this community going forward. The building, though it had strong bones, it was really a well-built building, it needed lots and lots of work. It was in just terrible shape. And one of the first things I remember was different groups throughout the city coming together and doing volunteer nights. When we acquired the building, the gym was ruined.
There were humps in the floor that were a couple feet high, the full length of the gymnasium. And a lot of volunteers put many hours into taking those boards up, scraping the adhesive off the back, and reinstalling those boards and having that floor refinished. So the floor was managed to be saved, even though it was severely damaged. And it got to be kind of a standard joke that all we needed was a box of donuts and some coffee in the morning, and we'd have plenty of help. But that was a strong core group. Unfortunately, a lot of those guys are no longer here, but that sense of volunteerism is what kind of started the community center going and has helped make it successful.
There were over 10,000 volunteer man-hours to lift that gym floor up and relay it.
It was just one of those things that we saw the need, we knew it was important, but did we really grasp the entire picture? Probably not. It was fun for us at that time. You know, we were at that age where, hey, let's get a group of us and we'll do this. We know it's a good thing. And that's how we approached it.
And when we finally got to the point where we knew we were going to be a fitness center and we started structuring ourselves that way and designing the rooms to do that, we reached out to members to become charter members. And really, we weren't offering very much at that time. The pool wasn't open. It was still a year away from becoming a reality. So we were asking people to trust us. The fitness center was very small, and most of the all of the weight equipment was used. The gym was just getting opened, the basketball gym. So we were asking those charter members to become members with very little comfort that they would really get their money's worth out of it. But we had a lot of foundation members sign up and support it, and they're their way of helping make this thing work for the city. I think that we started out with about 400 charter members right off the bat.
You know, we had the weight room, some of the cardiovascular, but not to the extent that we had today. There was no pool. They had the gym. We didn't have the walking gym or the volleyball gym or any of those things. Those were all added on at a later date. So it was just really it was a school converted into, you know, a rec center basically, and it was effective. Did I think about the money? No, I really didn't. It was a good cause, so I wasn't worried. Okay, so if I lost some money, I lost some money.
In those early days, it's like anything else. You have people that are going to be gung-ho for what you're doing and buy into it immediately and run headlong towards it. But there were some pretty smart people that said, I don't see how this can work. We're a town of 6,000, and you've got a huge building, and I'm not sure you can make it work with a community center. There were skeptics, and that don't make them stupid. It just means that they didn't see what could be based on the kind of town that Chillicothe is.
I think it's been gratifying to see the community's acceptance of the facility and how much they've supported it and how they have continued to support it in its growth. That's what kind of keeps you going, is if it's something that's the community wants and needs and supports, then you feel that your time put in is worthwhile and you've invested in the community and helped the community obtain something that most communities this size do not have. I was fortunate, at least, that I had the support of my family. They didn't mind me being away at times to dedicate time to the center. But it's been a very rewarding experience. I would recommend that anybody that can get involved in a project like this do it.
It's good for the community. I just want everybody to realize what little gem they have right here in Chillicothe. And there's still people, as much as Pearce advertises or promotes or puts out information available. I've grown up on it 30 some years, or 30 years. And there's still new people that are coming to town that they really don't know that much about it. And they don't know how good of a bargain in this close proximity Pearce is for them and their families. And it's just improving all the time. You got great leadership, you got good staffing. And it's like anything, that changes, and I understand that. But it's always about the community and how can we serve this community. And that's what I've always seen. And that goes all the way back to Barb Truitt. What could she do to this, for this town? Well, I can buy Pearce and give it to them for $1 or whatever it was. I don't, those are the stories you hear. I don't know how much truth's in that or not, and it doesn't matter. But she did something for the community. And what she did, and the people that picked up on her coattail and ran with it, they really created something that not many communities can say they have.
Now, as a retired person, I look back and wherever I'm at, I look for opportunities to tell people about Pearce and make it clear to them that, we're a town of 6,000 people with a facility like Pearce, and I've never seen it anywhere I've ever been, anything even closely resembling it. It's just a sense of pride that I was part of a small part of it, but frankly, I was doing what the members wanted me to do and what the board wanted me to do. So I wasn't doing, I was reacting. I was working towards what people with more vision than I wanted me to go, and I was glad to do that. That was really my role. The board structure and the committee structure here at Pearce has been an amazing thing, and they may do things that people don't totally understand or totally like from time to time, but big picture wise, this is a hard-working board, and made up of some really key people with some good backgrounds that I think will ensure that Pearce is successful for years and years to come.